Good morning, students. In this class, we are going to learn about the Heckscher-Ohlin theory. It is one of the important concept in the international trade. So many theories have came in the international trade, but in this theory, we are going to concentrate the two economists, that is Heckscher and Ohlin. The Heckscher-Ohlin theory. According to this theory, only one conditions of the trade between the two countries. In these two countries, they are producing only the two commodities and the two factors. So factors of production like land, labor, capital, organization, four factors of productions for that. But in this theory, they are chosen only the labor and capital. The two goods, wine and cloth. Two countries, England or Germany or Australia or America, whatever the countries is possible, we have chosen the countries, only the two countries and two goods and two commodity. Okay. So the next, if we see about the economist briefly, Birtle Ohlin, her full name is Birtle Ohlin. He born in April 23, 1899. He died August 3, 1979. He is a Swadeshi economist and political leader. He is a founder of modern theory of international trade, that is dynamic of trade. Dynamics in the sense changes, not in a static position. Okay, so but he developed the earlier interest of the international trade and he presented this theory in the year 1922. He appointed and he finished her doctorate in the Scotland University in the year 1924. In 1930, he successfully Heckscher and Scotland University and the Ohlin became engaged in the controversial because both economists only they have framed the theory as a Heckscher-Ohlin theory. In the Heckscher, he born in 1879 and he died November 26, 1952. He is also the Swadeshi economist and the economic historian. He became a professor in the year 1909. Recently, he founded the Scotland School of Economics. In 1929, he was a founder and director of the Scotland Institute for the Economic History. So, according to this theory, according to this Heckscher-Ohlin theory, in the year 1933, Ohlin published the Inter-Regional and International Trade. What is the difference between inter-regional and international trade in the sense? Inter-regional trade between, that is within the country. That is the simple understandable meaning for the inter-regional trade. And what is the meaning of international trade in the sense? International trade, it means apart from our countries, we are exchanging the goods and services from one country to another countries. This is the simple understandable meaning for the inter-regional and international trade. So Ohlin finally in the year 1933, he published the book name as Inter-Regional and International Trade. Ohlin and Heckscher, he combinedly and he both together formed the Heckscher-Ohlin theory. This theory is renamed as Heckscher-Ohlin theory. It states that only two countries, two goods, two factors of the production alone they are using. For example, factors of production, labor and capital. To produce the goods, cloth and wine. If we have taken Australia and England. So what are the factors is abundant in the particular country, that factors alone we are using. So according to that, two factors of production, that is labor and capital. To produce these goods, each will export the goods that makes the most use of the factor that is most abundant. So if we talk about the assumption of the Heckscher-Ohlin theory, So there are 6 assumptions there. Only there are 2 countries involved. Each country has 2 factors, that is labor and capital. Each country produces 2 commodities. So here they are concentrating only on the labor intensive goods and capital intensive goods. Next one, labor intensive goods, it's nothing but for a particular country they are concentrating only on the labor force, not the capital force. If the country is well versed in the capital, they will concentrate only and they will follow the capital intensive goods, that is machineries. They will export more and more machineries and they will import the machinery. Okay, so this is the 2 intensive goods. Next assumption is that there is perfect competition in both the commodity of the factor market. So not only the perfect competition, so perfect competition is nothing but large number of buyers and sellers will be available in the particular market. So all production functions are homogeneous. Homogeneous is nothing but the product will be the same one. The first degree of the production function is the subject to construct the constant returns to scale. 2 countries differs in the factor supply. So these are the assumptions of the factors Heckscher-Ohlin theory. So the Heckscher-Ohlin theorem, mainly they are concentrate only on the 2 terms of the definition, that is factor abundance in terms of factor price, then factor abundance in the physical terms. So these are the 2 important terms we have explained in the Heckscher-Ohlin theorem. So what are the criticism in the sense? 2 by 2 by model, static theory, factors are not homogeneous, production techniques are not homogeneous, taste and demand patterns are not identical. So here only we are following only the 2 by 2 model. That is nothing but 2 model in the sense factors of production we are using 2, goods we are using 2, so everything we are using 2. So that is the first criticism of the 2 by 2 model. Static, so here we are not concentrating on the dynamic theory. So dynamic in the sense changes, static in the sense constant. So whatever is using till beginning to end. So unrealistic assumption of the full employment and perfect competition, Leontief paradox are classified in this theory. Partial equilibrium analysis is not possible in this theory because they are following only the general equilibrium theory analysis. So factor price do not determine the commodity price. So come to the conclusion about the Ohlin theory. So it is based on the internal trade in the difference in the commodity prices of the 2 countries. So the rich countries are specialized in the labor intensive goods and export them. Labor abundant theory specialized in the labor. So which country is abundant in the labor? So they are exporting more number of labor intensive goods. So if the country is facing the more number of capital, they are exporting the more capital intensive goods. So now we will see about the labor intensive goods. So Heckscher-Ohlin gives the illustration about the, for example, Australia and England. They support this theory. So in Australia, land is a plenty and cheap, but labor and capital are scanty in the dear in nature. So Australian are specialized in goods like, so Australian they are producing the wheat, wool, meat, etc., which are relatively produced cheaper than the other countries. So the larger proportion of the land, but we are using the little amount of capital. So here we are concentrating on the labor intensive goods. So now we will go on to the capital intensive goods. So it is requiring the capital to relatively cheaper in England. Okay, so examining the trade between England and Australia, it may be observed the import, manufactured or capital intensive goods. So the Australians or imports or indirectly import the scarce factors, or they are exporting or indirectly factors or abundantly in the supply. So here we are using the capital intensive goods. So this is the flow chart about the labor intensive goods and capital intensive goods. If we are having a labor abundant country, we are exporting more number of labor intensive goods. So here capital intensive goods. So capital abundant country, we are exporting more number of capital abundant goods. So what are the other name of the Heckscher Ohlin theory in the sense? Modern theory of international trade, Heckscher Ohlin theorem, factor proportion theory and factor endowment theory, then relative factor endowment theory and Heckscher Ohlin model. So these are the other name of the Heckscher Ohlin theory. Then what are the reason why we need the international trade? So because we want to sell something and we don't want to trade by something, because if we want to export more, finally we will get more number of profit. So that is the point we are concentrating here. Export will be more and import will be lesser, then we will enjoy the favorable. Then next, if we are importing more we are exporting less, in the sense definitely we are facing the loss situation in our country. So more number of benefits we are having in the international trade. Trade creates more number of jobs, it attracts the investment, we are importing more number of new technology and materials and wider choices of the products and services. So this is the reason why we need the international trade. Thank you.